How's it going, everyone? My name's Eric. I'm a guitar player, so let's talk some gear. Recently, I did a video where I talked about transitioning from a pedal board to a rack unit system for my Helix. So I want to quickly go over some updates I did about storage capacity and then adding some new pedals onto the board. So let's get to it. So if you picked up a 6-unit rack mount, you usually know that they're pretty heavy as is, and once you start adding gear into it, you quickly run out of space. I figured I was going to add a drawer system into it and winded up using a complete different system setup and layout. What I did not factor on are these lids. Now these lids are pretty thick. They're about 3.5 inches, give or take, on the depth of it. So instead of putting in a drawer system or getting a bigger unit, I opted to think about what I'm not using, and that's the negative space. So as you can see right here, what I've done is I have already cut and pick and pull foam inserts put into it. You can get these on Amazon. I'll put the link in below on the description that you guys can cut to it. When I put this in, all I did is cut one block row from the width of the unit, and then I went ahead and placed it inside. What I'm doing here is I have the same foam block for the front and the back of these cases. The idea is the front part of this is holding the antennas for my Line 6 G90 wireless unit. And the reason for that is I normally have those attached and inside of the unit when I put the case on. The problem is recently I did a gig, and on the way there, when I opened the lid, I have part of my antenna that was popped off. And what I think happened is during transit, the actual antenna is sitting inside of this case and it's coming into a contact problem. So in order to not spend another $55 on new antennas, I came up with this system. And when I put the rack into it, I have more than enough room on the front with the knobs and everything else to actually add this insert, put those in, and I have about, I would say, an easy 1.25 inch left for spacing, more than enough to clear on the front.
Looking on our shelf, I have actually installed a Digitech drop tune pedal. Now this thing's fantastic. There's tons of videos out on how it works and the pitch of it all, but mainly it is an option for me to get away from the Variax to get the other guitars in rotation. In order to get this running, what I have is a dual option for on stage. The G90 has 3 outputs. One of them is a direct out to the tuner, so I have that one going to the Peterson. The quarter amp from the G90 is going directly to the patch bay in the back. The third option is an XLR to a TRS option. So I have an XLR out going to a TRS into the input of the drop tune. And then out of the drop tune, I have a TRS going to the patch bay. So just in case something happens, if I need to do direct, I can swap out of this patch bay for the drop tune and go straight out of the G90. And if everything's going right, then I can go out of the drop tune. The other option is if I don't want to do multi-outs from the Helix, I can run both a wet signal out of the G90 and a semitone difference or the whole octave difference out of the drop tune separately. Other than that, I mean, this is a fairly straightforward rig. I have the battery, I have the drop tune now, and then I have the Peterson tuning. All in all, this is a fantastic rig to be able to swap out and have some options. In case one of these sides fail, I can quickly switch out without having to unplug anything at the venue.